Examination of first cranial nerve. Make the subject sit comfortably in front. Ask him to close his eyes and one nostril using finger and smell various substances like perfume, soap, chocolate, and clove. Repeat the process from another nostril. Precautions to take: exclude common cold and avoid irritating substances like ammonium chloride. Examination of second cranial nerve. Test for distant vision. It is done with the help of Snellen's chart. Make the subject sit and close one eye and read the Snellen's chart.
T Y O V U H M Y T A. डॉक्टर साहब आगे नहीं पढ़ा जा रहा है, it's quite hazy.
Since the subject can read till point marked 18 from 6 meters, the visual acuity is 6 by 18. Test for near vision. Ask the subject to read the Jaggers chart at ordinary reading distance.
Attack, they seem to yield to the weight of the Roman power. They soon by a signal, filled with the hardy race of Harbirans. डॉक्टर साहब आगे नहीं पढ़ा जा रहा है.
The near vision is recorded as the smallest print which the subject can read comfortably. Examination of color vision. Ask the patient to read the Ishihara card.
1 to 12, 2 9 29.
Ask the patient to trace the lines.
Doctor साहब, it is like a starfish.
Examination of third, that is oculomotor, fourth, that is trochlear, and sixth, that is abducent cranial nerves. Look for ptosis, squint, and nystagmus in the patient's eye. Check for extraocular muscles movement. All the extraocular muscles are innervated by oculomotor nerve except for lateral rectus and superior oblique. Test for pupillary light reflex. For direct light reflex, the subject is made to sit opposite bright light and look at distant object. Bright light is shined in one eye using torch. The pupil should contract immediately. When switched off, the pupil rapidly dilates. For indirect light reflex, cover one eye and test for other eye. The bright light should be shined in one eye and the pupil should contract in both eyes. Testing for accommodation reflex. Accommodation is a process by which image is focused on the retina by increasing the curvature of anterior surface of the lens. Hold the finger close to subject's nose. Ask him to look at the finger and then away at a distant object. Then ask him to again look at your finger. Repeat these steps. The reaction to accommodation reflex is contraction of ciliary muscles via the third nerve, constriction of pupil, and convergence of visual axis. Examination of fifth cranial nerve. Test for sensory functions. Test for sensations like touch, pain, pressure, and temperature. Touch the face using cotton swab and ask if the subject feels those sensations. Now, touch the face of the subject with a sharp object and then with a blunt object and ask what he feels. Repeat on both sides. Test for motor functions. Ask the subject to clench his teeth. The temporalis and masseter muscle should stand out with equal prominence. Confirm this by palpation. If there is paralysis on one side, the muscle on that side will fail to become prominent. Examination of seventh cranial nerve. Test for muscles of scalp, look for facial expression, ask the subject to raise his eyebrows and check the symmetry of the face. Ask the subject to close his eyes as tightly as he can. In normal healthy individual, it should be almost impossible to open it against the subject's effort. Ask the subject to blow air in the mouth. In case of paralysis, the air can be made to escape easily from the mouth. Ask the subject to show his teeth. Check for angle of mouth and symmetry. Checking for taste sensations. Ask the subject to taste various substances and tell if he feels the sensations or not.
Salty. Yes, correct. Sugary. Correct. Bitter. Correct.
Test for lacrimation. It is also called as Schimmer's test. Take 2 strips of filter paper of same size and length and hang them from lower eyelids of both the eyes. Ask the subject to smell a lacrimating stimulant like ammonium chloride. Little or no moistening of the filter paper occurs on the paralyzed side. Examination of 8th cranial nerve. Stand behind the subject, plug one ear, and ask if he can hear the sound or not. Rene's test. In this, each ear is examined separately. Set the tuning fork vibrating and press the base of the fork over the mastoid process behind the ear. If the hearing is normal, the subject will hear the vibrating fork by air conduction even after he ceased hearing by bone conduction. Weber's test. In this, only bone conduction is tested. Place the base of the vibrating tuning fork on the forehead and ask the subject to indicate whether the sound is heard equally in both ears or is better heard in one of the ears. Examination of 9th cranial nerve. Test for taste sensations in posterior 1/3 part of tongue. Loss of taste from posterior 1/3 of the tongue in case of paralysis. Decrease in salivary secretion may result in difficulty in swallowing. Also check for palatal reflex. Tickle at the back of the pharynx either with the finger or with a swab and note the reflex contraction. This is absent on the side of damage. Examination of 10th cranial nerve. Check for the palate. Observe for any nasal twang. Ask the subject about any history of regurgitation of fluids through the nose.
I have a complaint of stiffness in my throat.
Examine the soft palate movements during phonation. Ask subject to open the mouth and observe the movements of both sides of palate. In healthy individuals, both palatal arches should rise upwards normally with uvula remaining in the midline. Ask the patient to drink some water and check for the swallow reflex. For the larynx, laryngoscopy is done. Examination of 11th cranial nerve. Test for trapezius muscle. Ask the subject to shrug his shoulder and apply passive resistance on them from above. The subject is unable to shrug his shoulder on the affected side. Test for sternocleidomastoid. Ask the subject to rotate the head towards right against the resistance of your hand. If the muscle is paralyzed, the rotation of the chin towards the opposite side is not possible. When both sides of sternocleidomastoid act together, the head is flexed. If the muscles are paralyzed, it is not possible for the subject to flex the head. Examination of 12th cranial nerve. Ask the patient to open his mouth and protrude his tongue. In unilateral paralysis, the tongue will deviate towards paralyzed side, and in bilateral paralysis, the person will not be able to protrude out his tongue at all. Ask him to touch his cheek with his tongue first on the left side, then on the right side, and palpate using your finger to feel the strength of the tongue.